Welcome to Watters World. I'm Jesse Watters. Staying focused, that's the subject of tonight's Watters Words. Don't fall for the Roger Stone hysteria, just a distraction. Just like the Russia bounty story, the president's power to commute sentences, almost absolute. George Washington granted clemency to traitors. Andrew Johnson pardoned every single Confederate soldier. Gerald Ford pardoned Nixon. Bill Clinton pardoned his own brother. That's what brothers are for. Bill Clinton pardoned the former CIA director and his business partner, Susan McDougal. And he pardoned the biggest tax cheat in U.S. history, international fugitive Mark Rich, after Rich's wife donated $500,000 to Clinton's presidential library. Barack Obama commuted the sentence of Chelsea Manning, who conspired with WikiLeaks, and the media loved it. But Trump commuted the sentence of Roger Stone, who did not conspire with WikiLeaks, and the media hated it. See what's going on here? There was never any evidence of collusion because there was never any collusion. Nobody's ever been charged with collusion or conspiracy with the Russians. Stone was charged in order to cover up a corrupt investigation. Trump's campaign was framed by the Democrats, the CIA, and the crooked FBI agents we all know and love. They planted and doctored evidence. They used spies and foreign agents. They illegally leaked, hatched stings, and got caught. What happened was this. Roger Stone refused to get framed, so they tried to put him in jail. Stone refused to make up dirt about Trump, so they charged him with crimes. How sick is that? If police plant a gun on you and then you throw it in the river, you shouldn't be charged with obstruction. That's basically what Mueller's boys did here. Stone should have just acid washed his hard drive like Hillary, right? Apparently that's totally fine. If you tell your buddy not to cooperate with crooked cops because you're being framed, you shouldn't be charged with witness tampering. That's what they did to Stone. And Stone's buddy testified he was never even intimidated by Stone. They charged Stone with making false statements. You know how easy it is for the feds to make that charge? That's the same charge they slapped General Mike Flynn with. Now, and new notes we just saw that the FBI released show that the FBI didn't even think Flynn was lying. Stone told a so-called lie to Congress, but James Clapper can lie and get away with it. McCabe can lie to investigators, and that's okay. Congress can lie to you, but you'll get locked up for lying to Congress. Schiff lied for 3 years that he had evidence of collusion. False. But Stone said, I didn't collude, true, and he gets charged. You can't cover up a crime that never happened. Crooked investigations only produce crooked charges. You can't frame innocent people, investigate them for crimes they didn't commit, and then lock them up when they refuse to go along with your show trial. The jury foreman in the Stone trial was a raging Trump hater also. She was a member of the resistance. She's all over social media disparaging Donald Trump. She hates him. But she lies her way onto the jury and gets caught covering up her bias. So the jury's tainted, right? No. The Obama-appointed judge is okay with it. What a joke. Now, I'll be honest. Stone's no saint. He's been playing in the gutter for decades. It doesn't make him a criminal, though. He's just a political operator and somewhat of an opportunist. There's guys like Stone all over the political world, on the left and on the right. Hillary paid a foreign operative millions to interfere in the election and smear Trump with Russian disinformation. She bought a warrant so Obama could spy on the Trump campaign. It was all fake, but the media doesn't talk about that because they were in on it. That's 10 times worse than what they say Stone did. Now, I also don't want to hear Democrats in the media crowing about the rule of law either. As I said before, pardon power is perfectly legal. But here's the point. The left spent the last 2 months looking the other way at looting and encouraging mobs to rip down the public property in the middle of the night, statues. The left let radicals create their own country in the middle of Seattle and didn't make a move on it until after 2 black Americans were murdered. The rule of law, really. Biden's son was bribed by the Chinese and the Ukrainians. The Saudis were sending Clinton's foundation millions. Then they murdered someone in their embassy. Did Hillary send the money back? Did Comey uphold the rule of law when the FBI doctored evidence to illegally spy on the Trump campaign? A Mexican national can illegally cross the border, commit a crime in San Francisco, and the city won't let ICE pick him up and deport him. That's respecting the rule of law? The Democrats believe in mob rule, not the rule of law. That's why they're waging a war on the First and the Second Amendments. That's why, when they tried to impeach the president, they jumped over the judicial system and rushed their case to the Senate instead. The media wants an old man to catch COVID-19 in prison and die behind bars? Really? They want hardcore felons sprung from jail so they don't get sick, but want a Republican with no prior record to rot and drop dead. The left's just mad because Trump sniffed out their witch hunt and stopped it. These were process crimes in a baseless and politically motivated investigation. This was a dirty tricks hit job on Trump because he was a threat to their power. They tried to criminalize the movement because it put America first. The movement put the people over the politicians. The swamp's going after Trump because they're really going after you, the voters, because you put them there. Trump represents change, the change you voted for. Getting out of Syria, rebuilding America instead of Afghanistan, putting a stop to the Germans ripping us off, challenging the Chinese government thieves, shredding the dumb climate and trade deals, securing the border for American workers and keeping judges out of our business and politicians' hands out of our pockets. Stone's small potatoes compared to the stakes of the election. Free Stone, free Flynn, let Durham indict some bad guys, but we have to stop looking in the rear-view mirror. The election is less than 4 months away. There's only 3 issues: jobs, China, and Biden, a dangerous buffoon who's going to destroy everything Americans have been working towards. Trump is the jobs president. Biden is the mob president. Trump was elected because he was a businessman who was looking out for the working man after the Obama-Biden regime let foreign nations and illegal immigrants steal jobs. Good-paying jobs, especially manufacturing jobs, were roaring back until the Chinese communists let the virus escape out of Wuhan into the world. The Chinese government lied, covered it up, hoarded masks, gouged us, and then blamed us. Trump needs to confront China and rally the country around Made in the USA and hold the communists accountable. Bringing factories out of China and back to the Americas puts the foreign policy and the economic policy together. Protecting America from COVID-19 and punishing the source keeps Americans safe and focused. And now it's time to define Biden. He's a fool who can't be trusted with power. He's been a Washington politician his whole life and put America last during the Cold War and the War on Terror. He let China and the Europeans eat our lunch while the forgotten men and women suffered. He never protected us from criminal illegals or ISIS, and he doesn't have the spine to stand up to the Bernie Bros, AOC, Pelosi, Antifa, or the mob. Biden's an economic illiterate who lets lobbyists and the globalists write the rules and rig the game. Even his family members take advantage of Joe because he's an easy mark. But don't let folksy good old Joe fool you. It's just a slick sales job by the pros. Biden's an empty suit for socialism. So the Trump campaign should be hammering away at what really matters. Boom, boom, boom. It's right there for the taking. No more distractions. Let's finish writing the American comeback story. There's not a lot of time left.